I'm just going to wait 3 minutes until it is 4 o'clock Eastern before we get started. Let some people come on in the session. And we're going to have a load of fun in this session. So I'm so excited to share almost everything I know about how to sell virtually. Two minutes and we'll go. This is going to be good, guys. You're not going to miss this. Hi, everybody. Jeannine Parise, you are in How to Sell Virtually, Top 10 Reasons. We will begin in 1 minute. I'll start promptly. We're going to get started in 30 seconds when it is 4 o'clock Eastern. I know it's been a long day, but hopefully you have some energy to listen to 10 amazing ways to sell virtually. It's going to be jam-packed with solid takeaways. Hi, Stacy. Welcome. Okay, 4 o'clock Eastern. Let's do this. I'm Jeannine Parise, founder, CEO of Club VMSA, and I'm going to be talking about the top 10 ways to sell virtually. I will give you all of this content. Hi, Clemens. I will give you all of this content a little bit into the session, so feel free to take notes, but I will give you pretty much everything I'm saying. You're welcome, as they say in Moana. Okay, so first of all, I'd love it if I could see you chatting. I'm not 100% sure, but if I can see you chatting, hi, Tony and Vinay, welcome. In the chat, write down how many of these 10 things you think you know. Obviously, you don't know what I'm talking about yet because I haven't started, but I'm curious to feel you out for how confident you are in your sales ability, especially during COVID. So if you can just type in a number, I don't know if I can see it. I see who's entering the room, but I don't see anyone chatting yet. Please do that and I'll get started. Okay, so if you stay until at least midpoint, you'll get a special gift, multiple gifts actually. I will pause for questions. Oh, thank you, Tony. Thank you. Okay, so Tony, good job. You think 5. So Tony feels he's like, you know, a C player. I'm sorry to say, Tony, but that's okay. It's good to be humble. Stacy, 6. Good, Clement, 6. And Keith can name that tune in 6. All right. I think that's fair. Very neutral. You don't want to appear overconfident. Mary, nice. Very good. All right. I like what I'm hearing. I think you guys are open and you're ready for this, and I'm going to give it to you. All right, here we go. So I will share all of this. I'll say that again. So you can take notes, of course, but you don't have to go crazy about it. I'm going to start with the story of a girl who was a master at sales, specifically in-person sales. She would walk the halls. She would be in the lobby during conferences. She would be connecting and talking and introducing people to each other. She was like the dot-com bomb when it came to sales. And then, boom, right? There was a bug. A bug infiltrated this girl's world. This girl, by the way, is me. And so, okay, how was I going to leverage everything that I did so well in person, now that we're two-dimensional. I'm sitting here, you can see in the bedroom, I'm on Zoom, I'm not having a cocktail, I'm not hitting you on the shoulder saying, oh, that was a good one. I'm not doing any of that. And the reality is, we've been doing this now for a year. Some people even longer have been virtual, been working from home. I've been working from home my whole career. This is a very good way to connect, communicate, and sell. Okay. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, don't worry, in person will be back. Everything will go back to normal. No, get used to this and embrace it. And the sooner you do not resist it, the better you'll be. And let's just jump into it. The first of the list of 10 that I'm going to share with you is when you're in a one-on-one meeting with somebody, okay, a prospect, a partner, someone you want to do business with, a recruiter, anybody really. Think about the KISS method, right? Keep it simple, stupid. I want you to get to the point right away. And a good rule of thumb is for every year you know the person, that's how many minutes you should be doing small talk, pleasantries, right? So if you know someone for 5 years, you can give yourself 5 minutes of small talk, okay? If you've known someone 10 years, 10 minutes. Now, if the person continues talking and they want to continue talking about their kids, their family, the weather, you can continue talking. But I encourage you to get on point and get to the purpose of the call. So now, if you're talking to someone for the very first time and you don't know them, you've never met them in person, you say hello and you get right. The purpose of my call is this. And by the way, you should have written the purpose of the call in the calendar invite with the names RE : regarding the purpose of the call. So you want to restate that. Okay, that's the first thing I want to share with you. And also, you want to smile. Okay, you always want to smile. When you're listening, you want to smile. Did you notice in a lot of the speaker sessions, and I'm not going to throw my colleagues under the bus, but how many of them were smiling when they were talking, and how many of them were smiling when they were listening? That brings me to the next point of my 10 list. Anchorman. Remember that movie, Anchorman, right? With Will Ferrell. We need more cowbell. Okay, you got to look that up. Saturday Night Live, more cowbell. That's hilarious. And so when you're on your Zoom, when you're on your Teams, when you're doing Hangouts, whatever tool you use, okay, I want you to think and embody an anchor person on television. And I want you, as your homework, yes, I'm giving you homework. I have 4 kids and I teach them all at home, and you can probably hear them running around. So I'm good at giving homework. I want you to watch the news. Any channel will do, and watch, because they're all on Zoom too, pretty much. And watch how they sit in the frame when they're listening to someone they're interviewing. I don't even know if they're breathing. I don't even think I was breathing. So you want to really observe that and take it in. Really watch that. By the way, you'll never watch the news the same again. I want you to look at the green dot when you're talking. How many people in this conference, how many speakers were looking at you? And you, by the way, are the green dot. I am looking directly at you now. I can see you. I know what you're thinking. You're smiling, I bet, right? I can see you. I can't see you, by the way. I cannot see you. Now you're laughing, right? I'm looking at you and I'm connecting with you. Me and you, we're going to connect. I'm not looking here, or God forbid here. How many times have you been on a call where someone's got dual monitors and dual whatevers and they're looking this way? Okay, I've had to actually tell a really good friend / client of mine at the end of a call, I said, I'd like to tell you something. This whole call, I looked at you like this. And she was like, thank you so much. No one has told me that. I've had like 10 calls today. So look at the green dot and connect with your audience. Now, I want to just tell you about my setup. So I have notes so that I stay on track, and I'm always adding value, because adding value and takeaways are key to success in Zoom and any conference and any talk, in my opinion. My notes are directly behind the green dot. I've got a BA, I'll let you figure what BA means, big A monitor, an Apple monitor that I love desperately. This thing fell. I thought it broke. I just put it back together. It's the best product ever, okay? Anyway, my notes are right behind it, almost like a teleprompter. So when I glance at my notes, you can see me right now. You know, I'm not looking at you, and that's not ideal, but we got to do something. Some of us need notes. All right. That's very important. I know you think that might be minor, but look at the green dot. All right. Keep writing in some of your, if you think how many of these you know, 1 out of 10, how many do you think you know? And then at the end, I'll ask you how many of these 10 you did know. And I'd love for you to be honest. Now, of course, in each one of these, I'm giving you 5 to 10 specifics. So it's almost like 50 to 100 takeaways. But nonetheless, we'll keep it honest. We'll keep it real. All right. Get your lighting and positioning right. How many of you noticed in today's conference that people were like this? Raise your hand. Yeah, you, Stacy. Yeah, you, Mary. I can't see you, remember. So I want you to, and I'm looking at myself to make sure I'm teaching you correctly. I want you to fill the frame, and I want the camera to be eye level. You see how I'm filling the frame? I've got just a little bit on top of me, and I'm really in the frame. I'm confidently in the frame, okay? My lighting is pretty good. Okay, now I could use an O-ring right here because it's gonna get dark. I'm in Connecticut, and it gets dark at like 4:15 Eastern. So thanks, Joel. Good to see you. And so that's going to be a problem. Hopefully it won't be in the dark. But, you know, if you do these things 80% of the time, you're good. I always want you to smile because when you know this as recruiters, as salespeople, smiling, you always got to smile. Here's another thing that's really important. I have hard-lined my internet. I spent a small fortune hardlining the rooms in my house. Okay. And my house was already wired for Cat 5 wiring. Now, you're salespeople, you have the money, you're making the money, spend the money on good internet. How many times at this conference did people cut out and drop off? Now, I don't know if it's the technology of the conference, it's their own Wi-Fi, who knows, right? But get your variable right. You can control your variable, get it right, and spend the money. All right, another good one. You know this. You know a lot of these, but you probably forget to do them or you're not valuing how important they are. 3 minutes is on time, 3 minutes early, that is, right? We all know that. About, I would say, 1 meeting a day. I probably have anywhere from 5 to 10 to 12 meetings a day. I'd say one of them is on time. One. Maybe one is a minute early. Okay, because they're usually my Zooms, because I'm usually the one pushing my Zoom out, and everyone else is late. 1, 2, 3, 5, 10. I don't care if you're the client and you're talking to your vendor. You've got to get in the habit of being early for your meetings. There could be a technology issue. You could have one of your kids running in asking about something, and you don't want to be online telling them, hey, get out of here. So be early. Now, you're going to be late. Everyone's going to be late at some point. Nobody wants to hear your excuses. Okay, he'll give you a great example of this. We're so programmed to say, I'm sorry, I'm late. I was late because, right? We're so programmed. And us women out there will say sorry. We'll say sorry, right? I'm so sorry I'm late. Now, if you're 15 minutes late, I've done this. I do this about once every 6 months. And if one of you out there and I was 10 or 15 minutes late without notice, and it's terrible. I'm so embarrassed to even admit that. I mean, I could literally cry when I'm that late without telling someone. Crazy. If you're going to be that late, you say you're sorry, damn it. And you figure out how to make amends, because that is ridiculous that you're that late. Now, if you're just a couple minutes late, not good, but it happens because we're not perfect. We're human. You can say, thank you so much for your patience and flexibility. Let's jump right in. Small talk, forget it. Just jump in. Okay, you can small talk at the end if they want to. And that's what you say. You can write that down. Thank you so much for your patience. Let's jump right in. and have that sense of urgency. Okay, that's going to just, that'll help you build a little more credibility back. I just want to give you that story. Okay, stories are always good. Stories. All right. So here's a good example to drive home the no excuses. I attended a funeral a year or so ago. Our cousin, his mom passed away. My other cousin shows up late, which he typically does. He's, one of those people, them, my friends, right? They show up late, not a care in the world. He shows up late to the funeral, like egregiously late, not just a couple of minutes. He's 30, 60 minutes late. And we're standing with the cousin who just lost his mom. It's his mom's funeral. His dad also passed, right? This is a very somber, tragic moment. The cousin comes over and says, I am so sorry I'm late. My meeting ran over. What? I was so mortified for my cousin to even say those words to this poor guy who just lost his mom. Okay, this is excessive, but you narcissists out there, take note. Okay, no one cares about we all have SHIT to do, and I don't want to curse, but we all have this to do. Everyone has time is important. All right, let's go. Number 8, it's personal. It's personal. Make it personal. Thanks, Sherry. Thank you. Make it personal. All right. Every call I'm on, I do something to make it personal. One day my 5-year-old said to me, Mommy, and we lived in New York City at the time. She said, Mommy, why do you talk to strangers all the time? And I said, well, why do you think? And she said, because you're curious. And I was so proud of her saying, yes, I am. I am curious. Genuinely, and I'm sure a lot of you are as well. Like, we're in the staffing business, we're in the sales business, we're people, right? So, so cute. I'm just reminiscing on my little 5-year-old. So I'm curious. I'm a problem solver. And at times I'm an oversharer. Who's an oversharer? Shares just a little too much. Okay, that's me. So I'll be in most of my calls, every single one of my calls, I'll share something. Now, if it's somebody I know, I either remember something personal about them that I can bring up, or I check my handy dandy CRM for how many kids they have, how old are they? Oh, how's little Johnny? Those kinds of things. Oh, I just watched the Penn State game, boy, your team, all that kind of stuff. I don't know why I had to talk in this motion, but you get my drift. There's a little unconscious bias going on there. So you want to share something personal. What I'll do if I don't know someone well is I will just drop things throughout the conversation, kind of like I'm doing right now. I brought up my kids. I've got 4 kids. It's in my bio. I had a 5-year-old that asked a lot of questions. I was in New York City, a lot of things about me. And so I'll do that on the call with my clients. I'll say, man, the snow is just ridiculous. How is it in Florida? But I'll know that they're in Florida because I look at my trusty tool, LinkedIn, right? Which is like the best thing on the world. Another thing that I'll try to do is be self-deprecating. So for example, I'm always turning my video on. My video is always on, no matter what I look like, no matter how I feel, okay? Even if I'm in the car, I'll have my video on. I tried once not to have it on, and they were like, hey, Jeannine, what's going on? I don't see you. Of course, I have to have it on. Fine. I will typically not look like this. Not that I look so great, but I'll have no makeup on, and people on the call can attest to it. Feel free to type some things in about it, but I will just be who I am. And when I get on the Zoom, if the person I'm meeting with, who maybe I don't know that well, they keep their video off. This happens about 30, 40% of my meetings. Depending on the gender, I can go into this for quite a while, so I don't want to dive too deep into this, but I will say, I'll say something like, hey, why don't you turn your video on? I'd love to see you. Look at me. This is a safe place. I mean, look at me. So I'll kind of like make fun of myself, and they'll turn their video on half the time. If it's a man, they turn their video on. Now, I think it's because I'm a woman. If I were a man doing it, I'm not sure what would happen, but gender roles play a role here. So if I may use the word twice. If it's a woman, most times they'll say no. So I'm kind of learning not to ask that until maybe the middle or the end of the call when I've built up some credibility. And then I will. So keep that in mind. You know, that's actually, as I pat myself on the back, that's actually a really good thing to know. All right, I'm going to talk for another 13, 15 minutes and hand up reluctantly. That's so funny. That was Sherry, cute. I'm going to talk for another 15 minutes to get through a couple more on my list, and then I'll share this with you and pause if you have questions. I mean, I'm looking at the chat. I can't believe I'm able to multitask. It's a bit shocking, but I'm doing my best. All right, number 7, exploit LinkedIn. LinkedIn, and you guys know this, LinkedIn is, I mean, I can't even, it's just amazing. The key, I could tell you to post, I could tell you to blog, I could tell you to, a little secret I do is I search my connections. So either I'll search my competitors' connections or I'll search my clients' connections, right? So it's like, this is a person I'm doing business with. I want to do business with other people. So I'll search their connections. That's a really cool thing to do. When you're note this, and I learned this from a LinkedIn training I did a little bit ago, do not put external links in any posts. I don't know if you know this, and I'd love to see who knows this, but if you put an external link in a post, in the algorithm that LinkedIn has created and all their glorified mighty, they rank you lower. So your post may not get out there. So what I've learned to do, and I'm in the events business, what I've learned to do is create an event in LinkedIn and then direct people to that page and then put the registration there. It's an extra click, not ideal. And I'm not a huge fan that I'm doing that, but I'm just sort of hoping that the trainer was right and my stuff goes more to the top. The only other thing I want to, there's 2 other things I want to say. Introduce people to each other on LinkedIn, okay? Do it on LinkedIn, especially if you're like unsure if this person wants to talk to this person. You know, giving someone's personal email, or not personal email, professional email is kind of, you know, private. And so if you're like, I don't really know them, do it on LinkedIn, okay? Because LinkedIn is a kind of a safe place. Comment, like, and share. Just keep commenting, liking, and sharing, especially with clients, with prospects. Gosh, there's so much you can do with LinkedIn. Number 6, take a breath. Take your water, take a water break. Okay, number 6. Good tip. Thanks, Sherry. She did not know that. Okay, engage in events. Now, this is near and dear to my heart because I have been running an events company for the last, 10 years now, Club VMSA. Don't worry, we'll get there. I'm a salesperson. We'll get there. Engage, participate, smile, and contribute. All right, give takeaways, turn your video on. There's nothing worse than when we have our events and people's videos are off. Now this event is different. Now you can have your PJs on, you can have your hair in a bun, you can even have no shirt on, you men out there, because we can't see you, except for you, Sherry. I can see you. Just kidding. My events are typically, most video is on, there's Zoom, and a lot of people will shut their video off. So keep your video on. I think that really helps you connect. Another good tip that I've seen from people attending and sponsoring our events is they send 2 people. One person is engaging, talking, you know, contributing a lot, really listening. Okay, that's a big one. Listening to engage, and they're asking questions and they're contributing. The other person is like a lot of you, texting in the chat. Hey, great to see you. Hey, let's talk later. Hey, let me say. So, and they're also noting who's there, and they're making notes on who's there and who we should be following up with. So the 2-team approach. Now, I'm not drinking my Kool-Aid on that one because my colleague, Jim Coughlin, is doing a session at the same exact time about using your dashboard to increase profitability. All right, so we're not doing that, and that's totally my fault. It has nothing to do with this event. We were just like, oh, I almost gave an excuse. Anyway, moving on. Number 5, get on the phone, get on the phone. We all know no deals are closed on email or LinkedIn, right? Obviously, all those things help. We talked about the touch system and in the last sales session that we had with Tom and I think Billy. But get on the phone. People will buy from you on Zoom or whatever you're using. When you're making your meetings, I like to make 7-minute phone calls. Yeah. And I'll put, 15 minutes in the calendar. So if it goes over, I have time. I'm not making 30 minutes. I'm not making 1 hour if these are sales calls. Okay. And get on the phone. If people are not taking your call that are your direct clients, get on the phone with other people and ask them questions. And ask them, who should you talk to about this? Okay. You know how to do referrals. It's kind of like that. The more you're on the phone, the more you're going to move your business forward. When I have a day where I'm not on the phone, I'm feeling like stilted, like I'm not growing. Okay. But we'll get into that a little bit. All right. Now I'm going to take a pause. Is getting on the phone to get more business still working? Yes, Emily. Yes, it is. You're not going to get business watching Facebook, posting on Facebook. Okay, you're not going to get business doing emails. All of this is important, not the Facebook, but the emails. But when you're talking to people and you're listening, you're understanding, asking who they know, and also, and I'll get to this in number 2, you're doing favors for them. So let me keep on my process and we'll see if we can uncover some more things for you, Emily. Right now, what I want to do is share with you a link. I'm going to share this link. Here it is. All right, I just shared with you a link that has everything you need to know and even has the lead in here. I'm going to share my screen. The gifts I was talking about is also in there. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, and this is what I just sent you. This is what I sent you. So you can see my screen. I made this for you. Okay. I don't know about you, but PowerPoint presentations are way too time consuming. You kill me with PowerPoint. We want to make connections. So I created this website just for you. How many times am I going to say that? Maybe 5. I don't know. The top 10 ways to sell virtually. That's me. Yeah, that's me. All right. So what are they? I'm going to click. And here they are. Here's everything I just was talking about. I got up to Smile and Dial. So now I want to talk about this one, flood schedule. Okay. Love your personality. Oh, that's so cute, Sophia. What if you don't have the phone of your potential client? Okay, if you don't have the phone, first, what I like to do, Sophia, I don't like to do cold calls. I really don't do that. What I'll do is I will warm it up with a LinkedIn connection request or an email, depending how well I might know them or they might know me. Depending what I know, but I start with LinkedIn, okay? And I see where that takes me. When I do my connection request in LinkedIn, I make sure I put their name, comma, and I get right to what I'm doing here, okay? I get right to what I'm doing. So LinkedIn is how I start. Then when they accept my connection, I write back right away, almost like a bot, right? Like I'm a bot. Thank you so much for connecting. And then I might share something with them that's interesting. I might ask for the meeting. It depends. It just depends how quickly they connected. Hey, I want to send you something. What's your email? And then I'll put them in the funnel. And I know Tom talked about the funnel. I have a lot to say about the funnel, you guys, but they did that this morning and I can add to that. But right now we're focused on this. I will say this. I do have a sales training. It's called Thriving in Productive Selling. And it's 26 sessions. Listen, Sophia asked, guys, I know, I can't help it. So we can talk about that later, Sophia, and anyone else that's interested. Let me go into this cool blue background. Isn't that like the nicest blue? All right. Flood schedule. What does that mean? It means book 7-minute meetings, as many as you can. Now, I was doing this every day. And then what I realized is every day I was having 10, 12, 15 meetings. Some are with clients, most are with prospects, some are with partners, some whatever. And I didn't have any time to do the work. Like I didn't have time to write. Now, I'm not giving excuses. I am giving excuses. Anyway, my point is this. For me, I am trying to have 3 days of calls and 2 days of work. And for you, it might be 4 days of calls, 1 day of work. It might be 2 days of calls. I don't know. But I'm trying to really get my calls in a day. So I'm just like a machine. Let's do this. And I got my energy. I'm on and I'm on. And by the way, for you ladies, and maybe some of you men out there, and some of you non-binary folk, if you wear makeup and you do your hair, then you've only got to do your hair for those 3 days. It's freaking genius. I just realized that. Okay, here we go. I'm going to show you something. I'm going to click on that. You can do all this at home because you have this link. I made it for you. Here's what a flood schedule looks like. This is exactly from my calendar. Am I shouting? Okay. This is okay, you already heard me. I copied and pasted this from my calendar. It's tomorrow's events, guys. Here it is. This is behind the curtain. This is what makes Jeannine, Jeannine. This is what makes me successful. This is what stresses me out. This is real. This is real. On the bottom, and I'll go through it. On the bottom, I included some gifts to you. They're great gifts because they give you something and they give me something. All right. One is $400 off my kids' coding class, which, by the way, is flipping amazing. All right. This thing keeps him occupied for an hour and a half, and then he works with his sister for an hour and a half, 3 hours, 3 times a day. They've created this app, and all the instructors are in India. I owned a company in India, by the way, that I started by myself. So I'm very familiar with the Indian workforce, and I'm a huge advocate of the Indian workforce. Okay. Again, I started a company in India by myself to do staffing in the US because I owned a staffing firm. Okay. So I know that sounds shocking and you think I had a cousin in India. No, I did it. So I know India. This is a great coding class. We both get money from this, and they give you Amazon gift card, like boom, right in your Amazon account. You click it, boom. I mean, it's awesome. This one, my husband made me include, who works in Club VMSA as well. He's apparently putting all our kids' savings into Bitcoin. I don't know how I feel about that, but if you're into Bitcoin or you want to try it out, this link will give you $10. I think gives me $10 or gives him $10. And then this one, and I'm not going to get into that one yet because that's kind of my little secret. Okay. All right. Here we go. Yes, Zoom info. Very good. You can use Zoom info for the phone number because that's really what you were asking. I didn't really answer your question yet. All right. This is my schedule. The purple is my kids' school. The red is my company, Club VMSA. The green is my family calendar. And you can see everything I'm doing. You can see the length of my events. You can look at this anytime, by the way. You can see that this event, for example, this Tim/Jeannine regarding brief ND football story in Club VMSA is a 15-minute meeting. And this is a prospect. And I put the re in there. I like to put the re in there, like regarding. That brief ND football story was what he said we should talk about in our exchange. So I put that in there to give him a chuckle, right? Because it's fun. You want to have fun while you're doing this stuff. These are all my kids' dance classes. They're all free trials to see if I like them. They're way too expensive for Zoom. And this is the coding classes that my 2 kids are taking, which is this white hat. So it's pretty cool. All right. So I want to go back to the screen I was just at to finish off this presentation. The next is the assumptive meet. I don't know how many of you do this, but this works really well for me. How many of you are tired to go back and forth on scheduling meetings? Oh my God, does this time work for you? How about this time at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock? Oh, I can do 2:30. Forget that. Forget it. Send them a calendar invite. Put what you want to talk about in the top. And then if you need to put more links, tab, whatever you need, put it in there. Okay. If it's time, by the way, this is such a good thing I do. I love this. And sometimes I forget to do it and I smack myself in the head. Especially your clients. If you're due for a meeting to like catch up on, like Namrata was talking about in the last session, Namrata was saying, I don't know if you're here, Namrata, but you were saying how You wanted to know what categories you're on. This is how everyone does this. Dear client, do you have a few minutes to talk about, or maybe, do you have a half hour? Remember, 7 minutes. Do you have a half hour to talk about what categories we're on? Because I'm really confused. I'm not sure I know what they are, blah, 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 blah. I'm not saying I'm right, I did that, but write a long email. How is 3 o'clock on Thursday? Or worse, what times do you have available? Then the person comes back and says, if they come back, well, I've got this available, that available, this available, that available. And you're like, okay, great. And then you write back, how is 2:30? And then you forget to put the time zone, right? So you're saying, how is 10:30? They write back Eastern, Pacific. I mean, we can go on and on with this, guys. Forget all that. Go in your calendar, create a calendar invite, and send it to that person. They'll say yes, they'll say no, or they'll propose a new time, right? Or they'll say tentative. And then you can start a conversation. You call them up and say, hey, I noticed you were tentative. What are you thinking? This thing is around. Who does this? Tell me, I really want to know who does this, because this is just so good. All right, here's another one, a good one. Do a favor. Do a favor. And this is great on LinkedIn. How many of your clients or prospects are posting that either they're looking for a job or they are hiring for jobs? And by the way, when you click on this, this will take you to the greatest business movie of all time. Who knows it? Write it in the chat if you know what I'm talking about.
I believe in America. America's made my fortune.
Does anyone know? Bueller.
And gave me freedom.
You can read though, I'm sure you guys, you're listening. You're not multitasking on my event here. I know we're getting along here. Godfather. Thank you, Matt McKee. Good to see you. Good to see you. Okay, so you have this link and you can watch this. And I don't think we'll watch it together, even though I would love to do that. Do me a favor, right? So the Godfather says, someday, and that day may never come, I may call upon you to do a service for me. But until that day, please accept this justice as a gift on my daughter's wedding day, right? The Godfather is giving gifts on his daughter's wedding day. Now, I want to share an example with you of where I failed at this. Okay, I want to share an example of where I failed at this. This is something I did not do well. One of my very prestigious VIP Enterprise Club members left a very prestigious CPO type role at a Fortune 100 company. And he was looking for work. And instead of doing what the Godfather did, which is do him a favor and know maybe someday it'll get returned, instead of doing it that way, which is the correct way to do it, what I did is, I'm ashamed to tell you, but this just happened. I was so excited by how valuable this asset was that I told him I was going to shop him around for a placement fee. Yeah, I can't believe I just admitted that. I was definitely not planning on telling you that, but I did. So I basically would send him out to people, and I'd sent him out to people that thought could use him as an employee or as a consultant, and said I was representing him. Obviously, I didn't give the name. And I asked for a placement fee. I did this for a couple. I said, you could also do sponsorship. And that was wrong. Nobody responded. Nobody was interested. That's not how I make my money. So why am I trying to do that, right? Much like the Godfather. That's not how the Godfather makes his money, by beating someone up. That's not how he makes money. That's him doing a favor. Now, I'm not suggesting you beat people up, but you get the drift. I recognized the error of my ways, and I said, you know what? I'm not going to ask for any money. I'm just going to help you. And I've been helping him for the last few weeks, and it's starting to look like very positive for me, because I think I'm going to be able to do a consulting project where he's going to work on it. And so I'm getting that favor right back. All right, so that's cool. And last but not least, and then I'm almost done. Thank you, Leo. I'm from the Bronx, so the Bronx, we're honest, whether you like it or not, but I appreciate you liking it. The last and not least one is Big Brother, okay? This one is just, this is such a wonderful tool in my virtual tool belt. Know who is opening your emails, okay? Set a rule. Now, for those of you who are my clients out there who are listening to me right now, I know you're there. Please do earmuffs because I really don't want you to know that I know this because it might alter your behavior. Hopefully you'll forget. We'll do like a hypnosis thing at the end and I'll poof it out of you. That hypnosis thing works, by the way. Okay, just to let you know. Anyway, I won't tell you how I know that. I'll refrain. Big Brother, set a rule in your email, your CRM, or even better, Mixmax. This is my bottom one. Email for closers. If you use Gmail, which I use, this is a Google extension that it's just revolutionized everything about how I communicate on email in many ways. And I'm not going to get into all the ways, but what I will tell you is in Mixmax, and you can do this, I think, in any email system, by the way. You can create a rule that says, send me an email when someone opens up my email 2 or more times, 3 times, oh, actually, it's just 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, you decide. I set it to 3 times, then I was curious who opened it 2 times, so I set it to 2 times. And so every time someone opens your email 2 times, boom, boom, I get an email that says, Joseph opened up your email 2 times. This email, you can even say the email. This thing is awesome. It's like totally rocks my world. Oh, and someone, Scott McKinnon, put in there banana tag. Terrific. That's another product you can use. And please feel free. Oh God, Jan, how sweet. You were born in the Bronx. Feel free to put other tools in there to help your fellow citizens. That's a great idea. Now, I'm wrapping it up. If you have your questions, put them in there because I know I didn't really answer your phone question, but I think someone else did, which is good. Good. Zoom info. Sarah's another proponent of Zoom info. So there's 2 bonuses I want to give you for being just such a wonderful audience. And the first I'll tell you, and then while I'm telling you the first, please put in the chat how many of these best practices of the 10, how many you actually do. I know we started with how many do you think you know. Now that you know the 10, please put in the chat how many you actually do. All right, 4, Teresa. Good. Honest, 4. Very good. I love to see this and I love the interaction. Okay. Like if you could talk, I'd let you talk. 5. Okay, Scott. Scott's 5, Haley's 3, Clemens 4. Good. I'd love to know which ones you are using. Good. Thank you, guys. 5, Joe's 5, Joel 5, Matt Mickey 5. Good. I bet I could guess which ones you're using, but we won't play that game. Can you tell I love games? Okay, because we're salespeople. We love games. So the first bonus that I'm offering for you guys is $500 off our Club VMSA membership. Let me just tell you what Club VMSA is. It is a corporate membership, a corporate club. And we bring together the buyers and suppliers of labor and everybody in between. We meet regularly. We have daily video chats about buyer insights that are free for members only. We have a library of 200 buyer insights. You can go into our library and search for direct sourcing, diversity, veteran, IT, globalization, technology, AI, and you'll find about 80% are in fact end clients like LinkedIn, Cisco, and a variety of, you get the drift, companies. And you'll have some that are MSPs. You'll have some that are people like you that have a lot to share and will ask to interview. We do these live every day at 12:30 Eastern till 1 o'clock. They're 30 minutes. They're jam-packed with value. Jim Coughlin, who's doing a session at the same time as mine, darn it, he interviews the people and they're great. So $500 off is quite a lot. Membership is $19.97, almost $2,000 for the year. That's for your whole company. So everyone gets access to the video chats. Everyone gets access to the library of video chats. And Selima Rice, you know, she calls these, and I have a quote from her, they're her lunch and learn. All right, so this stuff is really important. It helps you craft your offering. It helps you decide, is this your prospect? It helps you decide, wow, interesting. Should I partner with that company? I think they can help me in my business and I can help them. It's every day. You literally can have it on. It's much like this where you can't see, you can't, thanks Joe, it's a great club, cool. You can't see, they can't see you, they can't hear you, you're just listening, much like you are now. And you can ask questions and you can engage and you can get noticed. I will tell you this, I just remembered, one of our members, after 3 video chats that she was not a sponsor at, but just an attendee, she secured a partnership with a new company just after 3. She listened, she asked good questions, she said her name, she said her company, she types the questions in, and Jim, who interviews, reads the questions, makes a comment if he knows you. Oh, Colleen, she's so great. She's always at these events. She's such a good supporter. So he helps you build credibility, and then she asks your question. So it's a very neutral way to gain credibility and insights. And so you get $500 off this corporate membership. Now remember, you all have this link, and I'll put it in the chat again. Boom. You learn more about us. You can get that $500 off, but I'm going to expire it tomorrow. Now, if you need to get approval from the powers that be, you can ask me to extend it, and I will, because I'm a bit of a pushover. There's another admission. I feel like I'm in a therapy session and I'm sharing all my flaws. I think because I'm in a safe place, okay? Number one, I love these guys who run this conference. These guys are great. They have a great product. They're kicking butt with the marketing of this. This tool is amazing. You guys are amazing. But also I feel like I'm in a safe place because you're my peeps. So I feel like I can share. So I just gave you a reason, but it was a good reason. So it's okay to say stuff like that. So when you become a member, you get 50% off. You're getting $500 for your whole company. The whole shebang, not just you, the whole company. 50% off. My flaws are now my strengths. Yes, sir, Leo. I am a Leo, by the way, born in August. Is there a recording of this? Yes, Haley, there is a recording. I don't have it, but these guys do, and I am sure they will send it to you because they are on the ball. And Banana Tag seems like a very good tool. A lot of people talking about that. For one-on-one meetings. Oh, good, Sherry, thanks. The one-on-one meetings, use Smile and Dial, exploit LinkedIn, engage. Good. Can I get the list emailed to me? I can't really read it. Okay, sure. Sorry you can't read it, Nick. It's kind of small, I guess. Let me look. Let me see if I can make it bigger. Yeah, it's tiny. Let's see if I can. Hold on. Oops, hold on. I just got 15 more minutes. Let's see if I can try to make it bigger. Is it working? Yeah. Okay, let's try it now. See, it's working, but then it gets really crazy. There you go. One-on-one meetings. You know what you can do? Here's a better idea. Why don't you take a screenshot? I'm going to see if I can hide my video, guys. I just want to make things easier for you. I'm going to hide my video, see if it gets bigger. No, didn't get bigger. Nope. Take a screenshot. Option Command 3, and then you can extend it, but you also have the link. So it's in the link. When you click the link, it'll take you to this website. Okay, the last thing before you go, almost forgot. The second bonus is a wonderful event that I've launched called Top Biller. So if you have scored, I would say 5 or 6 and above on how many of these things you already do, I encourage you to apply as a panelist for Top Biller. If you scored 5 or below, then attend. This is free for you. This is a wonderful monthly webinar. It's going to be the last Friday of every month starting in February. It's going to be 30 minutes, maybe 45, but probably 30. And it's going to be much like this, very full of takeaway sales tactics. we'll have 2 to 3 panelists on every month, including Jim and myself. So Jim, me, 2 to 3 other people. And we'll just go around and we'll have a topic and we'll shoot off takeaways that you can implement, and it's free. This is totally free for you. The link is in the main link I gave you, but click here if you want to get directly in. Yes, go to the website. Bethany, my marketing is my website. And if you're interested in sponsorship, I send you some more pricing on that. So if you have a little bit more money to invest, we can talk about sponsorship. But I really want to leave you with Top Biller is going to rock the Casbah. We're going to have people on these panels that are making $500,000 and more. Some of them are making $1.4 million, okay? This is serious. There are going to be some serious teachers here. If you like the content that I'm giving you, thank you. I will also be on each one, and it's free, so you have nothing to lose. You just click here, attend meetings, and register free. If you feel like you have something to share, you get some cool stuff. And here are all the topics. It's kind of small, but I'll just go to the bottom. Here's the application. You get free training because we do recruiter training, account manager training, sales training. You get that free for the rest of the year. Okay, it's worth $4,000 a year. You get $1,000 credit for tickets to events and sponsorships. You get social media reputation boosts, I like to call it. And of course, bragging rights. So thanks, Sherry. Sherry Sale, I love your engagement. You are a happy person and you're welcome here anytime. I'm done unless others have questions. I'm happy to stay for the next 10, 11 minutes. Just signed up. Haley just signed up. You go, girl. Shout out to Haley Stoneburner, making it happen. Yes. Love action. She's a woman of action. A woman of action. Love it. Teresa, thank you for being my support person. When you go to her website, you'll see it. Haley, you too. Thank you for your support. Okay, here's a question from Sophia. And I'm looking down because I'm looking at the question, okay? Again, I gave you an excuse. Oh my goodness, I do it worse than you guys. When you get a friend request, you prefer to get a request with intention or asking, how are you? Okay, I assume you mean in LinkedIn because I'm definitely not I'm not here to teach you how to make friends on Facebook or how to like have your time sucked out on Facebook. But maybe Sophia, if you can clarify. When you get a friend, okay, great. Thank you, Sophia. When you get a friend request, you prefer to get a request with intention or asking, how are you? Okay, so you're asking if when someone requests from me, okay, I'm just gonna answer maybe both ways. When someone requests a LinkedIn to me, if you are in my industry, the staffing industry, the human capital space, it's usually a quick accept. I don't really care what you write, all right? If you're outside my industry and you're trying to sell me something, I'm a little more skeptical because I think I've got, 17,000 connections. And I know if I hit to 30,000, hi, Brian, absolutely promote staff leads, do it. If I hit 30,000, I can't I can't invite people to connect. So I'm really mindful now of who I'm accepting. Now, when I'm reaching out on LinkedIn, I'm absolutely not asking, how are you? In fact, I encourage you to take the word, how are you, completely out of your vocabulary, okay? How are we doing? Well, I'll tell you how I'm doing. I'm grateful I'm alive. I'm grateful my family, and Jim just joined our session. I am not surprised that Jim ended his session late. Okay. I'm sorry, early. I'm not surprised he ended his session early. He just joined. All right, Jim, welcome to our session. I know you're here. I see you. I see you in the green dot. And Jim has a lot more to say about this in his training. So Jim does amazing recruiter account manager training, and he talks about the words, how are you? And how we have to take that out of our of our repertoire. So I get right to the point in my LinkedIn. And I really, because there's only, when you see the preview, you only see a little bit. I say the person's name, comma. For me, I'm asking if they want to attend an event. So I'll write, and I'll usually make it kind of a tease. I'll say, Farmers is hosting a diversity enterprise meetup on February 11th, diversity in the workforce meetup on Feb 11th. Connect for a free ticket. Connect for a discount. I'll try to make it brief, but I'll give it a tease so that they connect. Otherwise, if I give them everything, why connect with me? And then they go into my funnel, which is a whole nother ball wax of the funnel. It's a whole nother training session. So, LOL. Thank you, Sherry. I like you. I like you. All right, guys, I'm still here. I'm going to stay to 7 more minutes. Ask me questions. Check out this awesome website that I literally just whipped up. I just created this 20 minutes before 3 o'clock. So that would be 2:40 for those of you good in math. I literally spent 20 minutes on this. And I think doing things like this is really cool because it's different. You know, you stand out, right? I mean, how many people shared their website that was custom made just for you? I'll tell you. 0. Mike Myers signed up. Mike Myers, I am absolutely not taking that low-hanging fruit, okay? But I love your name and I love everything associated with your name, okay? I'll just leave it at that. You're welcome. You're welcome. This is so fun. I love doing this. You guys have been a great audience. This is amazing. I'll check it out. Jim is just the funniest. And I'm so sorry you missed his session. Hey, Jim, maybe what we should do for these fine folks is do a special session for them of the session you just did, although they get the recording, right? So they can just watch it. Well, if you want us to do another special session, sounds like special ed, then just send me an email, you guys. It's on my website. It's down here, all the way down here. It's right here, Jeannine@vmsexcel.com. I'm accepting your connections. Just connect with me. You don't need to write a special thing. Don't waste your time on me. Spend your time on your prospects. I would attend. Okay, good. Okay, Sherry's attending, Jim. Mary's attending. Brian joined late, but that's okay, Brian. I still love you. Joel, great job. Yes, it is. These are what my kids are doing. I want to show you something, Melissa. This is what I want to show you what my kids are doing. Ready? I'll say, you know, because I'm signing them all for these trial dance classes because these kids need to move around, all right? Because they're just like sitting there at their desks. I'll say, how is that ballet class? And my 5-year-old goes like this. Try to do that with your kids. They're going to like that. Okay, Yudiki. Oh, I love your name. Great job, J9. I joined late. I will attend. All right. So those of you who want us to do something special, send me an email because I'm not sure. Okay, Jan, he's kicking me out. 5 minutes. Head over to the stage. We're going live. Okay. So happy to be here. Send me an email. Jim's email is just jim@vmsexcel.com. I'm not sure I'm going to get all of yours interested in attending. So I'm going to see if I can copy all this because I just love all this. I just geek out over sales, you guys. I just love it. All right, I'm going to save all your chats. So if you put your email in there, I think I'll be able to retrieve it. Okay, so put your email and I'll be able to. That's right, Hip Hop Dance Camp. That's correct, Julian. I was the president, executive producer, choreographer of Troop ND, Go Irish, in college. I love hip hop dancing. In fact, my kids had a hip hop dance class that was free, again, the trial, you know, and I was so excited. Unfortunately, my 10-year-old is mortified of my presence, so she would not let me participate. I was so excited to dance hip hop. If anyone's looking for a good yoga class, Jim, let's put your yoga class on here and give people like a month free or something. Because Jim is an amazing yogi. He's a great trainer. He's an amazing recruiter. He's just phenomenal in every way. We've worked together 18 years now, and he's an amazing yogi. So what I'll do is I'll update my website. Jim, figure out a discount for these fine folks, and let's get them doing online yoga, because I think we all need that. Hi, Mendar. Hi, I see you. Thank you, everyone, for being so supportive. I feel the love. Got 3 minutes. You heard that? Those are kids homeschooling. The sun is setting on this. It's like very artistic, right? My session's ending and the sun is setting. It's like, it's a little somber. I'm feeling a little sad that you're leaving, but it has to be. Look, someone came back. Someone left and then they came back. So cute. Thank you, Shirag. Thank you. Thank you, Jan. So good to see you. So good to see you. Oh, it's just signed up for Top Bill. Booyah! That's right. I'm going to make it like kind of like the entourage of staffing sales, right? The entourage. Oh, here's my 5-year-old on cue. 2 minutes to go. Want to say hi to everybody? There's 70 people looking up. Here we go. Here's 9-year-olds. Welcome to my life, folks. Welcome to my life. It's more like welcome to the jungle. Do you know that song? Welcome to the jungle. We got fun and games. Oh, Mandy says hi. Haley, you are so kind. I would love to be your mentor. I would love to be your mentor. Am I a good mentor, girls? Oh, there's another one. There's another one. Luke, say hi to everybody. There's another one. Jim, take a screenshot. Wait, let me make it big. Let me stop sharing my screen. Wait, hold on. How do I stop sharing?
Oh my! Just go stop sharing.
Oh, okay.
Stop sharing.
Okay, thank you. There's my husband. There's 67 people watching you right now. Yes.
Guys, get out of here.
He's saying, seriously? It's okay. It's almost over. 1 minute.
Guys, get out of here.
It's okay. They can hear you, and it's fine. They can stay for the last minute. I'm done. Say hi, cute family. Hi, Macrom. Hi, cute family. You know what?
You're not sharing.
I'm just grateful. Jared, you're so, okay, let's not touch this computer. Jared, you're so sweet. Thank you. This is Luke. Everyone say your name for these nice people. What's your name?
Julie.
How old are you?
9.
What's your name?
Luke.
And?
I'm 7.
Look at the green dot. That's the people. You connect with them that way. What's your name?
Emily.
And look at the green dot when you're talking, because they can see you're connecting with them.
Emily.
Emily. Good. Good.
And
Hi,
5
Rachel.
and a half.
And we're missing my 10-year-old, soon to be 11-year-old. Where is she? Oh,
right
there she is. I did not plan this, you guys. I did not plan this. This is too funny. You guys.
There's 6.
Olivia, how old are you?
Everyone's watching. 10. You're 10.
You got 66 people watching you. Okay. So funny. Oh, yeah. Well, you know, Haley, I really am wondering when I can get them to do stuff like social media, event management, LinkedIn introductions, LinkedIn connection requests. Yes, let's get them going. Thank you, Brian. You're so sweet. I said, nice to see you. Thank you, Ernesto.
I
Good to
have a
see you.
wiggly too.
Emily wants to show you all her wiggly tooth.
Ew, that's so disturbing.
Okay, you're in front of 66 people. So now we use our manners.
In front of 66 people.
57 now. Use our manners. Okay. Let me say goodbye to everyone because I'm running over now and I don't want to take time.
55 now.
Say
56 now.
your butt.
58 now.
Say nice things.
Ow. Ow.
Thank you, Heather. Thank you, Heather. That got nice.
Oh my gosh, is my
Join the
mom a
club.
famous YouTuber?
I'm on with work. This is very important. So I need you to like say nice professional things.
Mommy.
Let's say goodbye to everybody.
Mommy, lots of years ago,
All right. We're going to wrap up this circus. Bye, Joel. Bye, Mandar. Bye, everybody. Thanks for joining. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful rest of your conference.
Conference.
Okay.